guys, it's Athena, and today we're going to talk about what you need to know in order to have the most optimal, beneficial life, not just for you, but for your family, your community, and society at large. So there are a couple of areas that you need to study in order to make the most possible out of your life. So we're gonna go through them pretty quick, and then we're going to break them down, potentially in future videos. Number one, you need to know how, and this is in no particular order, how does the world operate at the time, like at the present time? So an example, how does the world operate right now? So for example, what do you need in order to get the job that you want? You probably need a clean record, schooling, an internship, and a good resume, right? That's how the world operates right now at this present time. Just one example. So, number two, you need to learn what your personal gifts are, what are you good at, and what makes you who you are. This obviously takes time to learn. It takes practice, it takes experience, it takes trying out new things, but one thing to note is what makes you truly and genuinely excited. This is a marker of what you're meant to do in this life. You can't help what makes you excited, but what you're naturally inclined to do in daily life is going to point to you at what you're meant to be doing on the planet and how you're meant to be serving goodness, more generally speaking. So the next thing that you want to lock down is a relationship with God. So do you talking to God, being in a relationship with God, sharing with God, knowing that without God we can't do anything, that God is the source of all goodness, and praying to Him, talking to Him, having a personal relationship with Him that is separate just from the masses. Your personal relationship with God is so important. Communicating, sharing, and let me see what else. Knowing that He loves you, He has your back, and He wants the best for you. And He's perfect at all times. So that's about it for that one. So the next thing we need to learn is, learn and know and imagine is, what do you want for your life? So, a lot of us are actually never given the opportunity to really, or we're not prompted with the opportunity to really think about what it is that we want out of life. Some people are told that, what you want will never be possible, and so they don't even imagine it. But if you actually sat down and you considered your life in the future, what would you want? How many kids do you want to have? Where would you want to live in an optimal life, in a life that you could have if you envision it? So what is it that makes you tick? What seasons do you enjoy? What kind of weather? Do you want to have more than one house? Do you want to travel? Do you want to take trips do you want to take trips often? Do you want to have your own garden? Do you want to grow your own food and make paintings? And what would you want life to look like if it could look like what you wanted to have? And many of us were never asked that question. Many of us were just told what to do, and society really makes you think that only a certain amount is possible, especially if you're in the the working class or in poverty. A lot of things don't seem possible, but no matter where you are in the economy and the systems, what do you want? And really taking the time to figure that out, that is part of learning yourself and who you are. That is really valuable if we want to have like the life that we really genuinely do want. And a lot of people never ask themselves this, and they don't think that they deserve it. They don't think that it's ever possible. And it really is a shame to see people who believe that life is unfair and almost like a punishment. And that all there is to do is work and struggle, because we need to know that this is the next part is with God anything is possible through faith. So another thing that many of us are never taught is through faith with God all things are possible. So I'll take myself as an example. Like when I was growing up, the idea that I could have certain things was almost laughable in my family. It was like other people get to have those things, but we don't. And it was a complete scarcity mindset, a lack mindset, and it's a mindset of ignorance, because through faith we can have anything. Like if we believe and work towards what we want, there's no reason, and we're good people of faith, there's no reason why God won't provide everything that we can imagine. So I do encourage you all to really think about who you want to be in this world. What talents have you been given? And there's so much fear taught to humanity, where so many questions we don't even allow ourselves to ask, because we're so used to struggle and almost like a slavery in a sense, because of the way that society is set up right now. But you deserve everything that you want in life, and the first step to achieving those things are knowing what it is that you actually want, which is hard to know if you don't ever step out of your comfort zone. But that's besides the point. What is it that you want? And sharing, like, life genuinely is not worth living if you're not sharing it with God. I had a time before God, and like before knowing him, before knowing his goodness and knowing his love more than anything, and I felt like now after being saved and now after knowing him, really knowing him and sharing my time with him and sharing my spirit with him and like holding him, like that's something that everyone should know, is he loves you unconditionally in ways that you can't even imagine. You deserve his love, and that love can be seen in this lifetime through faith, through serving him, and through being the person who you're meant to be. All those things that with time, most of us know deep down what it is that we are truly naturally good at. We just don't take the time to ask ourselves because we think that we're enclosed into the containers of like the jobs, that what it is we're told we're meant to be doing. But deep down we know what it is we're genuinely good at, and through him, through using those gifts and figuring out how to serve and generate more light onto this planet, more goodness, more sharing, more healing, more love, more unity, and giving what it is that God gave you. There's no reason why, if we ask for what we want, that we can't get it. And so this is essentially the blueprint that I'm giving you all. And by no means am I saying I'm a master at all of these things. We all have our personal wounds, and we all have our shortcomings. But if we really take the time to nurture these different nurture and open up our minds to the possibilities of actually sharing and having the life that we want on the planet, there's no reason why we can't achieve it. And the last part of this blueprint that I have to mention is believing in yourself. So for some of us, this is the hardest. Like I said, we all have our shortcomings, but believing in yourself that you can achieve what you aim to achieve. You can serve Christ in a way that is special to you and the gifts that were given to you. You can have the life that you want with communion with him, working with him. There's a reason there's a reason why you want the things that you want, and there's a reason why your heart calls for those things, and you're not meant to ignore them. You're meant to nurture them and strive towards them. So everything is possible with Christ Jesus. And once you open up your heart to the love that he provides, that becomes very clear. So like I said, I lived 23 years without knowing Christ, and now in knowing him, life is truly worth living. So I'm pretty sure this camera has blown away. I'm going to leave that there. Take this with you, and by all means, please reach out to me over email if you want to work one-on-one with me in nurturing these aspects of your life, envisioning new things for yourself. And if you need help on your journey, I'm here for you for one-on-one coaching. So please feel free to email me at Athena Vanessa Sullivan at outlook.com. I'm gonna put my email in the description of this video, and I look forward to working with all of you. This has been Athena Sullivan, and I'll see you next time.